So, guys, we knew Dan went and did a charity climb with Three Peaks Challenge, but another third of the Victory Chief podcast has also done a charity-related fundraising activity, haven't we, Chris?
We have, haven't we, Brandon? Yeah.
Well, it's communist podcast. You.
Well, people are in chat, so technically everyone else was involved. At least 120 other people were involved.
That's well good.
That's not bad, is it? Yes, so I did a 12-hour stream for the NSPCC, and since their logo's green, I dressed as Luigi for the entire goddamn thing, apart from the moustache, which fell off after about 0.2 femtoseconds. I will not stay on. So that was a load of crap. Throughout the entire stream, I just kept trying to stick it back on. It's like, okay, let's try again. Oh, as soon as I move my mouth, it's like, nope, straight off again. It's like, is that why Luigi's so cowardly? Because he's got a false moustache, and every time he feels it coming loose, he just has to run and hide and like reapply it.
Yeah, when you get characters which are like afraid to be bold and they're like hiding their hair with like a hat or something, like they're afraid like, oh shit, my hat's about to fall off, and they run off. Yeah, it's like you and the mustache. That's how it works.
Oh no!
No, you did a fantastic job, Chris. I watched about like 7+ hours of it, in and out, and you did a fantastic job. You raised a lot of great money for charity.
Thank you. Well, we mentioned the other week the Bean Boozled. We even got the episode title after it. I took one within 10 minutes and I nearly cancelled the stream there and then.
What flavour was it?
The burger flavour.
Oh.
It's like, oh no. Well, I'll tell you what, the ones I had the most were like these dark ones, and it's like either cappuccino or liver and onions. But the thing is, I don't like cappuccino either. And every time I got one, I never got a liver and onion one. I always got the cappuccino. I got about 4 of them. It's like, for God's sake, a nice one.
Cappuccino sounds like it'd be good though.
If you like it, yeah.
Yeah, I like cappuccino, but as Chris literally says, he doesn't. So
well, I like bogies.
Trust me. I don't know what magic they use in your Jelly Belly things, but good Lord, they do taste exactly how you think they would do. Like old bandages. Old bandages was horrible.
Oh, I bet.
Oh God. Frankly, I never had the bath or the dead fish ones. Thank God. The worst, the nicest one, the blue ones. It said it could be berry blue or toothpaste, but the toothpaste just tastes like mint. So it's just like, yeah, the nasty one's nice, and the nice cappuccino one's bloody nasty.
You played a decent amount of games while you were on the stream as well.
Yes, I played last year's Game of the Year, Shredder's Revenge. I played The Mummy Demastered, which I thought would take me about 6 hours. It only took me like 3. I was like, I've still got like 9 hours to go. And then I finished Shredder's Revenge after a few hours. It's like, well, that's both the games I had planned. So, and we're only like 5 hours in. Yeah. So I played through Mega Man 11. Got through all of that in like 2 hours. I thought, hold on, last time I streamed this and did a full playthrough, it took me 4 hours. How come it only took me 2 this time? What the hell? Did that. Then I went on to Astro's Playroom. I thought, okay, that'll kill a few hours. And it did, but it still wasn't enough. So I went on, I did Mega Man 2, the old NES classic, because other people were like, yeah, play more Mega Man. It's like, you know what, I could play more Mega Man. I bloody love Mega Man. And I still had like 15 minutes left. I was like, oh shit, so quickly. Curse of the Moon 2. Just for 15 minutes, just do 2 minutes, 2 levels. I don't care. It's like, we're so close.
No, it was a good assortment of games. And you had all your Paw Patrol stickers on your face.
I did, yeah. So I did a goal for like every £10 we raised. I put a Paw Patrol sticker on my face. So I was completely covered in them by the end of it. We did the thing for Eugene's football, which we mentioned last episode. So someone's now got their name on that. I won't say it for privacy's sake. They're happy. So me and a friend are in a game together.
That's great. I'm glad you had a good time. You had a good community surrounding you, as I was among there. The many people that I see in your stream, there are many good eggs there.
Lots of eggs.
Yeah. The regulars are very good eggs.
Egg.
I'm getting slowly, like, every time I jump in, they're always like, hi Dan. I'm like, oh, these are good eggs.
It's the only reason you pop in. It's like, thank you. Some recognition.
No, I like to pop it. I was lurking for it a while, and then I was like, I best actually say it. I'm here.
It's like, podcast royalties. We've got someone famous in chat.
No, sometimes I'm like, I just want to because I was like just gaming myself, and I was like, no, I'll just leave you to your own devices. You don't need to see me just yet. And once I'm in a suitable point, I'll make myself known.
I tell you what, talking about gaming, very, very, very quickly, self-plug. I've started doing a new series on YouTube called Spanky Rambles About.
Yes.
And all it is a few minutes like unedited gameplay where I just ramble on top of it. I'd say it's like somewhere between a review, a rant, and then just me going off the rails. The closest thing I can compare it to is, does anyone remember Jim Sterling, like James Stephanie Sterling's like Squirty Play series?
No,
Like
no.
just like that. It's just like complete ramblings of a madman of a gameplay for like, a couple of minutes, and that's it.
Oh, it's good.
Yeah, you should be very pleased with yourself. I'm very proud of yourself.
I am pleased with how proud I am of myself.
Well, we're very pleased. We love you. We love you, Chris.
Thanks. And let's please some other people by talking about new stuff.
Yes.
Welcome to the Victory Achieved podcast, a video game talking. Well, a video game talk about podcasts. Definitely, no, it's not. It's a podcast where we talk about video games, TV, anime, books, and how fucking hot it is. So if you don't mind me, guys, I'm going to take my trousers off because I can't bear this heat.
Oh,
Way ahead of you.
What? Someone's got naked.
Victory Achieved, too hot for TV. Okay, anyway.
Right, calm down.
How's everyone
ladies.
been in this sweaty, near 30-degree weather again?
Oh, it's pretty bad. I got into my car and it said 35 degrees, and I was like, oh my gosh. And then I was like, I'm gonna wait until it cools down by 5 degrees to take my dog.
Actually, I've got a genuine question about you, Dan, because you've owned a dog longer than I have.
Yeah.
What temperature range would you say is? At what point would you say it's inappropriate to take a dog out?
Literally, pretty much what it was today. I just wanted. I was like, I'll see if she goes, but even I wasn't. I only took her for a short walk because it was roasting, and yeah, I was like, yeah, I'll bring you back and I'll give you some water. Yeah.
Where you live, you've got like a lot of fields and grassy areas, haven't you?
Yeah, but I took her along the road because it was more shaded.
Yeah, because where I am, like, you know, I've got like tons of pavement before I can like reach fields, so it's kind of not great to be taking a dog out when it's like this.
Well,
but on the topic of, you know, what we've got in store today, I went outside and I actually touched grass.
Right.
Yeah, I went to a festival on Sunday. How's that for a smooth opener, guys? You like that? You like that?
You touched grass.
I touched grass. Yeah, I actually touched grass.
You haven't really seen that democracy video about touching grass in the Soulsborne?
No, I haven't.
I got 2 of them right. It was a speed run on how quick you can touch grass. And Dark Souls 1 and 2, I got bang on. But the other ones, I was a bit like, oh, I don't know. But DS1 and 2, I knew his strat.
Yeah, go touch grass like I did.
Festival
yeah,
good?
I went to a small festival where we all live in the lovely area of Leicester. So when I say festival, it's not really like some sort of like big like woo woo festival. It's more of a you have like local stalls. You'll have you know, like I think in total there's maybe like 4 or 5, maybe 6 food stalls. There's quite a lot of like independent crafty ones. There's like a bakery in the middle, so there's a couple from like Loughborough, well not couple, but a couple of old ladies from Loughborough were selling like jams, marmalade, preserves, some baked goods, and some like crafty bits like bags and charms and stuff. So that was pretty cool. They had like the equivalent of Crofts in the middle, where it's like this local dog training school with basically demonstrating like, you know, how good some of their dogs are for like doing obstacle courses. You had like the police and fire service there, basically, you know, showcasing like safety. You had like inflatable side at the back. You know, it was just a very low key festival. I'd say, you know, in terms of like scale of it, I'd say maybe the equivalent of maybe about 6 tennis courts. I'd say, in terms of like where everything was positioned. So it wasn't massive by any stretch of the imagination, but it was very, very nice, like very, very pleasant. It was free to go. You just go there, you get like a leaflet of all the activities that are going on. So we had like a karate showcase. There was like the African choir playing. You had like race bikes doing like obstacle courses. Yeah, it was just like a generally nice day out. I had a very interesting burger. I had an onion bhaji burger. Have you ever had that before?
That doesn't sound anything. Yeah, it just sounds like a burger with onion bhajis.
So this is where it gets interesting, guys. So you have your burger bun, you know, the base. Not like, you know, normally a bhaji is just a big ball. Well, these are now flattened like a burger patty. So it's a flattened bhaji with a slice of cheese, some sauce, and then your tomato, lettuce, onion. Then it's a second bhaji with cheese, mixed salad, and then like a mint sauce on top, followed by the burger bun. And there you go. That's your bhaji burger. It was nice. I looked at it and I was like, I don't know what that is, but I want it. So I went up to the stall. I was like, oh, she was like, oh, how can I help? I was like, I want that. I don't know what it is, but I want that, and I got it. And yeah, that was mucho bueno. What else did we do there? Just generally walked around the fields, but on the topic of how hot it was, we got
You got
we
burnt.
got sunburned. We got burnt to shit. Yeah.
Well,
It's considering like it's very shaded, full of grass and area. But as soon as you got into that sun and was my bottle just exploded. But as soon as you got into like the sun, that's it. You were just searing, and it was just not comfortable once you're in the sun. But overall, it was a good experience. Have you ever heard of the Nighton Festival?
maybe I don't know. I know it's at Knighton Park. I know where that is, but
Yeah, it's because they were celebrating 70 years of being Knighton Park.
oh.
Yeah,
Well-
I didn't even know.
Well, you touched grass, but you also managed to finish Dismantled.
Yes, I think the main reason I needed to touch grass was because I finished Dismantled. So just a quick recap. So me and Chris downloaded a game on PlayStation Plus called Dysmantle. I didn't realize that it was actually a couple years old. I thought it was new at that time period, but it turned out it was a couple years old. I finally finished it. So, when I say finished it, I've done the main story quest, and I'm now at the point where I can do all the side quests. I can do all the exploring. So I can now offer a complete review of Dismantled. Overall, very, very fun open world game. If you stick to the quests and stuff, fantastic. It's nice going through solving the puzzles of the tombs, just exploring, doing all the crafting stuff, fantastic. But I do have at least 3 or 4 gripes with the game as a whole. Number one is the main story is incredibly short. In terms of actual main quests, here's the tutorial area, find the escape pod, which is right next to the tutorial area. Find the 4 fuel pods, which are located in the 4 corners of the map. Once you found these 4 escape pods, go back to the escape pod. Oh, you can't use it because it's teleported somewhere random. And you're like, okay, fair enough. Go to this new area, find the escape pod. You can go now. That's it. That's the main story. But there's nothing that builds on top of it. It doesn't really tell you anything about the world. You're just basically just saying, here's an island, escape. It doesn't really teach you anything about what's the lore of the game. That's entirely only if you go and do the side missions, which, side missions are great. Like the exploring the tombs are fantastic. Like the puzzles in them are incredibly fun. Like there's been a couple where I've genuinely had to scratch my head and try and think, okay, how the freaking hell do I do this? But some of them were piss easy. So gripe number 1 is incredibly short side story. Gripe number 2 is I really dislike the fast travel system in Dismantled. I don't know how you feel about it, Chris, from your brief play.
It's a bit of a pain in the ass. Like you've got fast travel to go from bonfire to bonfire, but they seem really spread out.
Yeah, because if it was literally campfire to campfire, the fast travel would not be a problem at all.
No,
the problem is that the fast travel is only between the link towers.
Yeah, it's it's got 2 different checkpoints, and they really should be one and the same.
Yeah, it's like, say for example, on Skyrim, you can fast travel to any designation you've unlocked. Yeah.
Yeah.
But what if your fast travel option was only limited to the wagon? That's what the traveling system of Dismantled is. You can only go between 1 point per zone, rather than go in areas. Like some places you have, if you go to the link transport, you might have to walk just for 5 or 10 minutes just to get to where you next need to go. It's it takes freaking forever.
Yeah.
So
the worst part I find, there is a sort of hub you can set up for yourself, and you can get an upgrade to fast travel there, but there's no link tower there, so you still have to do a couple of minutes walk to the nearest one regardless. It's
Yeah, and that actually, Chris, brings me very nearly on to my gripe number 3. They give you the option to do house building and make your own base, but there's nothing really productive you can do about it.
No.
You can make a base, fantastic. Can you make a farm? Yes, but you need the complete end game resources to do it, and you can't really grow anything in them. I'm like, well, what's the fucking point?
Yeah, you just find everything. For me, it's the same as you just mentioned Skyrim. It's you can have a house in Skyrim. It's I never see the point. It's just go to the Smiths. Just go to Whiterun. Everything's there.
Yeah,
It's in Skyrim, you can build those houses, but the houses you get from just the base game are better. You can store everything you need in those houses. There's no except for trophies and achievements, there's no point in making those big houses from Herfire.
Yeah, they're just there just to get the trophies and just have a secondary convenient spot to go to.
Yeah.
When I phrase it this way, does it sound backwards? So to make a home, you need lumber. Okay, so find a lumber yard to make said lumber.
Yeah.
And then you can go back to your home base. Now you can build a lumber yard using lumber. And what can I get for that? you can make lumber here. It's like, it's a bit back. That's a bit pointless.
Yeah.
Is that something in Dysmantle? Was that Skyrim?
Dismantled. It's you can't make lumber and titanium. You need to go find a smithery and a lumber mill. But for me, I didn't discover the lumber mill until way towards the end of the game. I was like, I freaking missed it. So this it somewhat punishes you for not exploring a lot of the areas. Like some upgrades, you need titanium, you need lumber to do it. But I think out of those two, titanium is the one you naturally come across because it's sort of en route to one area. Whereas lumber, you just take a side turn and then you're there at the lumber mill.
I had the opposite problem with the smelter because I found the lumber yard first and then didn't find the titanium smelter place for bloody ages.
Mm-hmm.
What they should have done is instead of like waiting for you to sort of like randomly stumble across it and then be able to do it, they should have gave you the resources to do it, but do it really sparingly. So you can look at your skill tree and think, right, I could make this, but it would use up titanium, but I've only got like one, so I've really got to make a decision. Like, which one do I really want the most?
Or at least turn it into a side quest to point where they're going to be, so you can actually continue that.
Yeah, because you didn't do that, which feels like a major oversight considering the side quest it does give you.
Yeah, like because when you do the side quest, like very early on, you might be like level 3 when you do this. You're like, okay, craft a door. Oh, to craft a door, you need 5 lumber. You're like, okay, lumber is like a tier 3 material. Where the hell do I get it? Oh, I need to get to level 20. I need to like find this area. I was like, oh fucking hell! Like it's just so much of a chore. I was just very disappointed that this house building mechanic. It could have been a really really cool thing, but there's just nothing useful you can do with it. I mean, you can cook at your bonfire. You can upgrade stuff at the campfire. You can farm. You just find a farm and do it there. You can do the smithing and lumbering any way you want because using the building thing, you can just construct them anywhere. It doesn't matter. Yeah.
To use a Dark Souls metaphor, it was like if you're playing Dark Souls 1 and you wanted like a Titanite slab, but the only place you could find it was in Ash Lake, so you could go through the entire game going, where the hell do I get these from? It's like, oh, it's behind a secret. It's like, no one doesn't find it down.
Yeah. So gripe 1 was a short story. Gripe 2 was a fast travel. Gripe 3 is resources. The useless base building mechanic. Yeah. And then Gripe 4 is a continuation on from what we said last time. It's just the enemy variety.
Yeah, it's not enough.
It's not enough.
Even the later enemies are just like scaled up versions of the same enemy.
But on the topic of scaled up enemies, there's one particular enemy which is scaled up, which killed me more than anything in the game.
What?
And it's the ones which, the ones that throw acid, Chris.
Oh, and then explode.
Then it's the exploding ones.
Yeah, the bastards.
They just aim at you and they just can instant kill you. And you're just like, oh, for fuck's sake. Like, everything else is so easy, but they just take the piss.
Yeah, they do. They're a bit egregious. They can just like throw a projectile with like little to no warning, and it just like impacts you immediately.
And sometimes it'll follow you because like it seems like it has like tracking, so it knows where you're going to walk, and it just throws it there. And you're like, oh, fuck you. Yeah. Like literally, the single-handedly the enemy I've died the most to is those exploding acid guys. Everything else I've had not really much of a problem with.
All the bosses have just mowed them down like immediately because by the time you get to them, it's like, well, I have the hunting rifle. So
yeah, as soon as I have the sledgehammer, that's it. GG. Oh,
yeah, on the topic run straight up to them, press hammer the expo, and that's it.
Yeah. Like, on the topic of bosses, the only main bosses are all the same apart from one. One of them is painted red. That's it. That's the difference. It's not until you do the side stories and just randomly explore areas is when you see the bosses. But even then, like they're not entirely creative. Like there's a couple which look a bit different, but there's not really anything sort of like fantastic about them. Like there wasn't a single boss fight where I went into it, finished it, and thought, "Whew, that was a good boss fight." Every boss fight I had was, I'm done now. There wasn't that much satisfaction from like the end results when you go through the game. But saying that, even though I'm moaning a lot about it right now, I still fucking enjoyed it. I am a really big fan of like open world survival games, and it ticked a lot of boxes in the fact that you can there's all this sort of skill tree stuff, but it did reach a point, like a plateau very quickly of where there wasn't really much advancements because you could hit that very, very quickly. Like after 2 of the fuel pods, you can have all the upgrades, and then the other 2 you can just steamroll.
Yeah, it feels like it's not quite balanced right. It feels like it gives you too much to start with, and then you have fuck all for so long, and then you get like the odd mandatory upgrades. And then just nothing again. It's like you start doing like all your building and crafting and hunting, and you're thinking, what's the point? What am I getting out of it?
Yeah, so that's my total and complete and honest review of Dysmantle. I moan about it, but you should still check it out because it is a really, really fun game.
Oh, Chris, you have been playing a new game and you even platinumed it.
I did, yeah, and then I went back and platinumed the first one as well. So
Busy
I
boy.
got, oh, yeah. So I got Blasphemous 2, which is a game I was very much looking forward to it because I really like the studio, the Game Kitchen and Team 17. Like Team 17, man, come on, they made Worms, come on. Yeah, so Blasphemous 2 came out, time recording, a week last Thursday. I pre-ordered it. I don't normally pre-order games, but one, I wanted it, and secondly, if I pre-ordered it on PlayStation, on digital, like, you've got 10% off. So I was like, what, so I can buy it later and pay full price, or just buy it now and get like £2.50 knocked off? So I'm doing that one. And I was literally waiting at my PlayStation on like for midnight to roll round, so I could. It was pre-installed. I just had to wait for the clock to tick down. The moment it hit midnight, boom, playing it. Ah, man, I really, really like Blasphemous 2. I really like the first one. It's more the same. I'd say overall, it's like just as big. I wouldn't say it's like any longer or any shorter. It's pretty much on par with the first one lengthwise. Instead of having one main weapon like you do in the first game, you get given the choice of 3 different weapons. There's like a standard sword. There's a slower sort of mace hammer type weapon, and there is a faster rapier type weapon. But one thing the game does, which I really like, for replay value, depending on which weapon you choose at the start, you forfeit getting the others. But each weapon has a sort of overworld sort of use, and being a sort of Metroidvania, it kind of determines where you can go. So it makes repeat runs, like when you're trying to get to the platinum, more interesting. It's like, okay, well, firstly, I went to this area first, but now I can't go that way. So on the second playthrough, I've got to go this way. Let's see how awkward and irritating it's going to be without my weapon of choice from last time. So I think that's a very good game design, just to make things more varied per playthrough, should you want to pick it up again, like I sure did. Right? So when I played it, I picked the rapiers first because I like speedy weapons. When I started streaming it, I chose the sword. Sword or choose a hammer? You know what? I can't remember. I chose the other thing because I wanted to see how much it varied, and ultimately you get all 3. And if you know where you're going, right? And for me to get the platinum, one of the trophies was to get to a certain area within half an hour of game time, and you really got to get your skates on. But you know what you're doing. You like visit like 3 separate areas to grab all the weapons to get to said area. I've memorized the first sort of third of the game already. All the boss fights are fun because they've got like the same sort of Souls-like design with you got a dodge roll but in 2D. You've got your Bile Flask, which is like your Estus. It's like, if you played the first one, it's mechanically the same. There's very little they've actually done to change it. There is a new feature where you've got these things called altar pieces, and these are essentially like passive buffs that you can equip. There are rosary beads in the game which do a very similar thing, but it's just like another layer of upgrades for you to choose. And you can also pair some of them. So how this altar piece things work is you start off with 1 slot, but you can pay money to like upgrade and get more slots. And they're ultimately you can get 8 slots, which are like in 2s. And if you pair certain figurines, which you like unlock just by exploration, if you pair 2 together, you can get other passive buffs which are hidden, which the game doesn't tell you about. So it like causes you to like experiment. It's like, oh yeah, I can do this one to like get 10% more sword damage, or I can have this healing thing which like increases my healing power. Mix that with another statue, and they recover even more health every time I heal instead. So yeah, it causes you to mix and match, and depending on your play style and maybe your starting weapon as well, that will determine which statues you're going to use and which buffs you're going to get to. So there's a lot of experimentation you can play with. So it makes it feel more like you're building up your own character in your own little way, rather than
The first
like
game.
the sort of scripted game. Yeah,
Yeah.
like the first game. Like it's like you're playing as like a scripted character, so there's little in the way you can do to like customize it.
Yeah.
This feels like it's trying to add that extra layer.
That's
to
cool.
Make it shaper. And yes,
So, is there much story to this, or is it like Dark Soul, or like a lot of From Software where it's environmental? Because wasn't the first Blasphemous very much environmental? You saw a bit more.
It's very much taken a leaf out of that book.
Yeah.
Where there is a story there, and you can get the basic plot of what's going on just by playing it. But if you want all the details, they're all in the item descriptions and side quests. So there's plenty to do. There's plenty to explore. There's plenty to unlock. So all the boss fights are fun. I wasn't like one point in the entire game I thought that's bullshit. Like this platforming section is dog shit. Like this boss is really annoying. Nope. all without a hitch. Possibly the one downside I'd say is I think some of the later game bosses are a bit too easy. I mean, you can probably make itself harder on if you're like not exploring or permanently like deliberately not upgrading yourself, like putting a cap on if you're trying to challenge run it for some reason. But if you go out your way, I just think it's a bit too easy. Yeah, the end bosses are a little bit harder, but I did find a cheese method of doing it, and now I know what it is. You kind of can't not do it. Funny enough, the penultimate boss, I say the bosses are easy for the most part, but the penultimate boss is incredibly difficult. Like the spike's like insane. So honestly, that's where I found out about the cheese stat. Because I was like, how the frick do you get this guy? Because he moves super fast and he hits like a truck. And it's like one of those kind of fights where if you manage to like dodge perfectly and get the hit, it's fine. But once you get hit, you sort of get wombo comboed like, infinitely. It seems great, now I'm stun locked to death. It's like, well, how the hell do you get past that? Your options are cheese him or get good. Like, I'll do the cheese this time. I just want to see what the cheese is. And ultimately, what it boils down to is you regenerate mana when you hit things, which is fine. But one of the spells you can get is something that freezes time for a few seconds. So that works on bosses as well, which feels like it shouldn't, but it does. So you can just freeze the boss, use a particular skill on the mace where you like spin it around rapidly. That just like completely fills up your MP bar. And the moment the spell runs out, just cast it again. Just rinse, repeat. That's it. Him and like the final boss are like powerless to do anything. Just stand there. They might get like one frame of animation in where you may have to dodge occasionally. That's it. I sort of showed it. I've just ruined the end game bosses for everyone. So,
wow.
You don't have to use it. That would be blasphemy.
Oh. Well, I don't know. Yeah. Well, sounds like you enjoyed it.
Yeah. It looks good. I mean, it looks fucking stunning because of the pixel art they do. It's my favourite form of artwork, like pixel art, but when there's like a ton of detail into it, which carries on nicely to the next game I'm gonna talk about anyway. It's got a very similar thing going for it. So yeah, it's a feast on the eyes. I played the first one again just to compare it, and also because I got the platinum on the second one. I thought it would be rude not to get the platinum on it on the first one. So I thought, whoa, what platinum trophy am I missing? I'm only missing like 2. One is for like getting like the actual platinum for getting the rest. Like what's the last trophy I've got to get? I looked at it and it says, beat all the bosses without healing. So okay. I can see why I didn't get that one, but I bloody did it. I think I may have played it just a little bit too much.
Wow.
That's just too much.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, though, I've still got the urge to play it.
Well, as long as you're not destroying your life up socially and mentally, I'm sure it's fine to play a lot.
It is. And
you have to touch grass afterwards?
I did, actually. Today and yesterday. I went for like a 3-hour walk yesterday. I was drained socially and mentally. But yeah, saying I really, really like the art style in Blasphemous, and I just mentioned another lovely pixel art game, and that game is Sea of Stars, which has just come out on both Game Pass and PlayStation Plus. Yeah,
it's out on everything, really.
Yeah,
it's
I
on
downloaded
PC.
it straight away.
I've played the demo. I don't know. We'll get into this, but I played the demo. That's all I've played, and I probably will get it, but I've got a reason why I'm not getting it just yet. But as you say, like the artwork, the style, not like the actual pixel art, well, it's not pixel, but the actual style of Sea of Stars is, the artwork's incredible, the graphics look so, it just looked really good. I remember starting the demo, has the bit with like the golem bringing the characters down, and it looked incredible.
Yeah, it's so Sea of Stars it's like top down with a little bit of an isometric view when you're going around, and the game makes use of that by hiding treasures behind walls, as you may expect, as part of the RPG core mechanic.
Basically JRPG. It's basically modern day Chrono Trigger, pretty much.
I'd actually liken it more to Paper Mario.
Oh, okay. To me, it feels like Chrono Trigger, just a modern day Chrono Trigger. But I can see why you say Paper Mario, or like in terms of, or like even just the Mario RPGs. I can see why you would say that as well.
Yeah, so it's kind of a blend, because in combat, in Chrono Trigger, where the enemies are positioned can make or break what type of skills you want to use, and that's implemented in Sea of Stars as well, because enemies can move around. You've got a character that can physically pick up smaller enemies and throw them around and move their positions. It's turn-based combat, but like Paper Mario, there's sort of a real-time input system. So the moment before you make contact with a move, you press a button at the right time, you do extra damage. Same when you're taking damage, you can block and receive less. Most of the special move also require button inputs on your behalf. The most fun one I've found is one called Moonerang, which one of your characters uses, which hits all enemies.
Great.
Yeah, just like a boomerang. Goes out, hits an enemy, returns to you. So you've got to press a button just at the right time to send it back to hit another enemy. And it just speeds up and it can get crazy fast. I'm not sure if there's a maximum amount of times to do it, but I did get an achievement for hitting it 25 times in a row. So I was like, yeah. There's nothing worse, though, than getting all your party all set, ready to use this move, because you've got the maximum MP, you've lowered their defense, your party members boosted, and there's nothing more satisfying than going, haha, right, I'm fully powered, you're debuffed, take this. You go to unleash your move, and then you whiff the timing and miss completely, and only get like one hit in. Like, which I may have done once or twice.
So far, I only played the demo, and I liked it. I thought music was really good. Obviously, art style's incredible, really nice. I like the combat. As you say, with like the boomerang and stuff like that, it was really fun. And like I said, it just reminded me of Chrono Trigger. But I'm a big fan of Chrono Trigger, if I've not mentioned it on the podcast, which I think I have. And I just had a good old fun with the demo. Obviously, I'm limited with what the demo gave me. But see, I liked how when you leveled up, it gave you like a bit of a assortment of level ups, and that reminded me a bit of Super Mario RPG and Super Mario
Mario and Luigi series.
Yeah, Superstar Saga. That's because that's the only one I played.
Yeah,
so.
Yeah. There's a similar thing. So when you level up, it does it so like your whole party levels up, not like individually. Like, once you hit the level up, everyone goes up a level. So everyone gets their base stats increased by depending on what class they are. And then you get like 4 things for you to choose from. Like, do you want your physical attack to go up, magical attack, SMP go up? You can pick and choose that. But honestly, from what I've been doing, it's random what comes up, I think. But I've normally been going just for physical attack, and if that's not available, then go for max MP.
Yeah.
Because MP in this game is like really limited.
Yeah. That's kind of what I did on my level up on the demo. I was like, attack, stat, and... Well, I did give one of the characters health, because he kept on dying, and I was like, I'll give him some more health because of that. But, no, I'm quite enjoying it. I enjoyed the demo, and I think I will get it. I don't know, I think maybe the £30 price mark might be a bit too much, but I don't know.
Maybe. As I say, it's surprising to me that it's on both PS Plus and Game Pass at the same time. It's normally one or the other. So.
Here's poor man me, he doesn't have either. There you go.
Sorry.
Yeah. No. Well, then no wonder you're just like, well, I've got it for free. Oh, there you go.
I can get it twice. Just to annoy you.
And there's me just like, I'm gonna wait till it's on sale.
Can I get a crumb of Sea of Stone? No, 2 copies. So if you're unfamiliar with the developer, it's made by Sabotage Studios, who also made The Messenger, which is another pixel art platformer Metroidvania game, which was really, really good as well. So Sabotage Studios are doing something magical in a minute. I'm just going to let them carry on doing their thing. If they're going to keep making nice pixel art games, then they can do that for me.
He's going to let them cook.
Yeah, damn straight. Yeah, nothing bad to say about this game, I think. Maybe it's a little bit too easy from what I've played, but I think that's kind of my own fault. In the full edition of the game, there are relics that the game gives you. You can buy them off shopkeepers over time, and they're like quality of life things which you can like toggle on or off. Like the first one it gives you, it's like, oh, you have like 100 plus more max health for each party member, and every time you finish a fight, like your HP gets restored back to full.
Okay, that's
like,
that's a bit
nice.
broken. Yeah. On the demo you get 2 of them, but I've literally not used either of them. I've tried I wasn't really sure exactly, but I've been having fun not using them.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting because there's so many different ones that affect different things. Like to make like the timings on your attacks easier, for example, that's another one. But you can choose whether to do it or not because there's no difficulty setting. So it's down to you to like make the game as difficult or as easy as you want. Like maybe for some quality of life things, you might want to activate one or two of them just to make things run a bit smoothly. Right. I've got the one where it like gives you your HP back after battle purely because it's like you got to keep running back to a checkpoint, otherwise there's like rest and that. It's like, you know what? If I'm playing this more casually, I'm not trying to challenge run this or anything. I'm just want to play it for the story. Honestly, I want to get it done before Starfield and Lies of P comes out because I think they're going to take up a lot of my time. And if I don't do this game now, if I don't get this game done now, it's just going to fall by the wayside. I get that feeling, and I don't want that to happen because I'm having fun with it so far. So yeah, I've just like activated everything the game's given me. It's like, oh, do you want to make this easy? Yeah, just give me the damn thing. If I like the game that much when I've finished it, maybe I'll play it again without activating it. But I can't see myself doing that. But yeah, this game, I do recommend it.
Of what I played, I'm definitely going to get it. I think if I had Game Pass, I didn't know it was on Game Pass, but if I had Game Pass or PS Plus, yeah, obviously definitely worth checking out. I think maybe £30, or I don't know what it is in dollars, but £30 might be a bit too steep.
Like $35 to $40. Well, sometimes games, whether they are in pounds, they seem to be the same in dollars.
Yeah. Well, because I looked at how long to beat this game. It says 25 hours to 40 hours. I'm like, for an RPG, is that good or not? I don't know.
Again, I just use the whole a pound per hour thing. So 25 quid, 25 hours. Yeah. Maybe.
Well, yeah, that's why I'm like, if it comes on sale, I think I'll probably get it. But right now, I think maybe 30 quid is a bit steep. But, you know, I don't know. At the end of the day, if you have a lot of fun, what does it actually matter? You know, there's, think of like, I don't know how much you pay for Blasphemous, or if you got it for, but like,
$22.50 I play for Blasphemous.
Yeah, fair enough. And I don't know how many hours you put in, but on how long to beat, it's like 21 hours. You know, if you pay 21 hours, yeah, you know, and you're probably going to replay it as well. So you know,
yeah, I think my first playthrough of Blasphemous took me about 25 hours because I went through everything with a fine tooth comb trying to find everything.
Yeah.
Then my next playthrough was like 6.
No, yeah, I like Sea of Stars so far. Yeah.
Honestly, it's from what I understand, it's got better review scores than Octopath Traveler 2.
Well, I'm not surprised. The thing is with Octopath Traveler 2, it is just more of the same. But it, you know, if that's good, if that's something you're happy with, you're gonna love Octopath Traveler 2. If you wanted a bit more, well, you're gonna be a bit more disappointed. But you know, I've spoken about Octopath Traveler 2 anyway. But you know.
Right. So closest comparison, I think people are making.
Yeah, I get that. At the end of the day, this year's had a lot of good games.
It has. It's been really good. So
like
every time I think it's going to be a game in a year, and then something else comes out like a month later, it's like, hang on.
Like got me to play anything new this year.
I've played quite a bit. I think I already know what my top 3 games of the year are.
Here's the Kingdom of Air up there.
Well, yeah, that's number 1. But yeah, I already know my top 3. But I'm going to pre-order Super Mario RPG and think I'm going to get Pikmin 4 at some point. But we'll see. Quickly, Brandon, you have started Baldur's Gate 3.
Yes, I have. We say started. I've done the character customization bit, and I then attempted the tutorial bit. And I say attempted.
Yeah.
The reason why I say attempted is because my RPG brain took over very, very fucking quickly and made my life hell.
Okay.
You probably know this from like Dark Souls and especially Demon Souls. But yeah, Elden Ring as well. You know when you're doing a tutorial stage and you meet the big bad at the end of the tutorial stage?
Yeah.
And it either gives you 2 options. It's either fight big bad or run away from big bad.
I think I know. Right, okay.
So the correct answer in this situation is to run away from big bad because that's what the quest tells you to do.
Right.
Peanut brain here is like, okay, I've got to the end of where it tells me to do for this checkpoint, but I've still got 12 turns to take. I'm going to fight the big bad.
And you got destroyed. Yeah.
Yeah, because he's like level 6 and has got like 150 HP, whereas I've got like I don't know 10 HP. I've got absolutely slaughtered.
Oh yeah, of course.
Yeah.
See, I know what class you are. But
Yes.
as I did tell you, you will be judged for your class and race because there is one class and race that is the most popular and it is the most boring. So I had to tell you that. So would you please tell everyone your class and race?
As we remember from our D&D episode, I am a Dragonborn druid with no dexterity and high intelligence.
You passed the test. You are not a
I've got
normal.
literally the same cantrips as we did. So I've got the acid breath, animal touch, animal worship, whatever it's called,
I can't remember.
and shillelagh. I think I've got shillelagh.
I'm just glad you
So I've
didn't
literally
go.
done exactly the same as we did for the D&D episode. Character customization, there's a lot of different aesthetics you can change with your character. I found it a bit complicated to navigate at first because it gives you like preset races you can work from. But obviously, when I say races, it gives you like preset scenarios, like whether you choose these certain characters or you choose like the urge. And if you choose like the urge, you can basically have full character customization from the very beginning. Whereas when I was picking like some of the preset ones, I couldn't really see how you customize those quite immediately, which is why I think it gave me like a somewhat inclination to go towards the urge, which is meant to be the difficult playthrough. So which I just thought that was a bit strange. Like, like, again, referring back to Skyrim or even Elden Ring and Dark Souls for that matter, you literally design your character from the very beginning. Like, you have a blank slate and you go from there. Whereas it just seemed like I don't know if other people have this problem, or whether it's just me being a peanut head, but I just didn't find it very intuitive on how you actually design your character unless you choose the urge.
I don't know. I don't know. I can't answer that.
It's probably just most likely me being a peanut.
I don't know. Maybe.
From what I've seen so far, so in terms of controlling Baldur's Gate, it's literally it's literally a point and click. So you click where your character goes, you go there, you can interact with the surroundings. So like your normal D&D actions, like you do something and then you have to roll to see whether you're successful doing it, or so.
It's just video game D&D, essentially.
Video game D&D, yeah. But here's where I'm a bit special in the brain cells. I went into it when I first saw the adverts for Baldur's Gate. I thought, that looks like a nice, interesting Diablo-esque RPG. And I obviously got it, not really knowing that it's D&D until obviously my partner and my work colleague told me that it's a D&D one as well. I'm like, oh, okay. And yeah, I'm like I said, I'm literally in its infancy. I've designed my character, did part of the tutorial, died from the big bad, and thought, okay, I'm just going to play Terraria instead. But yeah, I will revisit and I will speak more about it in the next episode. Well, hopefully I've actually at least got a couple hours under my belt for that. So yeah, stay tuned as I talk about Baldur's Gate 3.
I'll be interested to hear what you say.
I'll be interested. Any other brief touches?
No more games. I've got some TV shows. I want to start from the worst TV show I saw to the best one. I say worst, I still enjoyed it. I watched the live action One Piece on Netflix.
Oh.
It's good.
Oh, that show got a 6 out of 10 by IGN, so therefore everyone on the internet's kicking off.
I think that's a little... I think a little low, but not much higher. I think a 7 or maybe a 6.5. I think it's definitely not perfect. It still has a lot of problems, but it's better than Cowboy Bebop, and there's a lot of things I really liked about it, and I found myself smiling and laughing quite a lot. The sets are incredible, especially the set from episodes 5 and 6. That set's incredible. If you're not aware, One Piece is a Japanese manga. It's the third best-selling comic book in the world after Batman and Superman.
It's staggering how popular it is.
Yeah, the fact that it's sold better than any individual Marvel comic series.
It's absolutely bonkers.
Yeah, and it follows the Rubber Man, Monkey D. Luffy, and it's just as he finds the One Piece, and it was fun seeing it, watching it live action. A lot of the casting was pretty damn good. I'll be honest. Most of the acting,
Western people doing it, or
Pardon?
is it Western people doing the acting?
No, it's a mixture. For example, Zoro is Japanese.
Okay.
Because Zoro if he was in the real world, he would be Japanese. For example, Luffy would be Brazilian, and he was played by a Spanish guy, I think. For example, although he wasn't, Sanji would be French, but he wasn't played by a Frenchman. Especially when you heard his British accent, it's like, yes.
Oh gosh.
No, it's fine. It's just, I'm just saying, his nationality is French, but he's not played by a Frenchman. No, for the most part, the casting was pretty good. The acting was good, except for a couple characters, because there was one character who has a massive hissy fit and then throws a cannonball. I was like, okay, this was so much more badass in the manga and anime, and here he looks like he's having a hissy fit. But it's not perfect. I'm not gonna lie. Some of the action is a bit jarring when it comes to the power system. This is the most normal One Piece is, because it does the entirety of the East Blue arc from One Piece.
Is that the first arc?
It's the first big arc. It's the first mega arc of One Piece. It's before they enter the Grand Line, which is where they are. They have been for over 1,000 chapters since. So this is like them start as they get the start of the crew getting their ship, and this is where the majority of like the main characters have all their like origin sections of the first half of the crew. And there's some really stunning performances, but there's also some jarring performances, and the CGI is hit and miss. But I enjoyed the show, but it is a mixed bag at times. But I think there's generally more good stuff than bad stuff. At the end of the day, it broke Netflix as well.
Wow.
So you can't say, and it's doing well. On Rotten Tomatoes, it's doing very well, both critically and by reviewers. And I enjoyed it, but it has a lot of problems. But I can get by those problems. At the end of the day, if you want to experience One Piece, read the manga. There you go.
Yeah, because I was literally like, as soon as you started talking about it, literally the first question I was going to ask was, how closely does it resemble the manga / anime?
Quite well, actually. They they get rid of one villain from the third arc, but then because of that, Usopp doesn't have his fight, which is a bit, which maybe would have been, I don't know. And then another villain, he gets killed off instead of Luffy fighting him. And by getting rid of that fight, it makes one of the other characters kind of just go, yeah, I'm just coming with Luffy just because he does it. His reason to join the crew is a bit shit. Other than that, it's still good fun, and the banter between the characters is good. I liked a lot of it, but there's a lot of problems. Yeah. On to something that it wasn't just solely me who watched it. Ahsoka, Chris.
Right, so before we talk about Ahsoka,
Okay.
obviously you're the absolute Star Wars buff here.
Yeah.
Where would you rate it?
What, Ahsoka?
Yes. From all the other Star Wars stuff you've seen, where would you position it?
Well, we're only 3 episodes in so far, so it's still early days. Depends where it is. My problem with, I've said this before, with all the Disney Plus shows, is they're always the same. They start off really good, and then, you never know what's going to happen until the end. But this feels promising. What do you think, Chris?
And as someone who's not seen like the Clone Wars or Rebels, I wasn't sure how well I get on with this series because I don't know the characters at all. And from what I've seen, a lot of people haven't seen the other shows either.
Yeah.
But they've done a good enough job to sort of get you like up to speed with who the characters are, what their plight is. The current struggles are something new to all of them, so you're along with them for the ride. So honestly, it feels like the kind of thing like you get more out of it if you've seen the past series, but it's not necessary at all. But...
Yeah, no, I don't know. I'm still in. I think my criticism of Ahsoka prior is still there. That I think it's still, even though you're saying it's still not the most accessible because you don't really know Hera Syndulla that well. You don't really know Sabine that well. Ahsoka, for the most part, you know her, but also don't. But. I think, as you say, it does get you up to speed enough. But, for example, there was a new character that was introduced in the latest episode, which is a lot of some of that, or who is that character's related to isn't not really explained in the show, but obviously in Rebels it's all explained. There you go. You know, there's a lot of it is essentially Rebels season 5. Like, there is no sugarcoating it. That is what this show is, and it does jump you there as it's kind of hit. We're going to find this. We're going to stop this character, stop this villain, and find this character. But I think for the most part, it does have like the joy of like early Star Wars, of like good versus evil, Jedi versus Sith. And that is quite fun to see again.
That's the thing, though. If you're watching a show like this, chances are you're going to know some stuff about Star Wars.
Yeah.
And it's pretty easy to follow. It's like, right, Ahsoka, she's a Jedi. Got it. They're Sith. That's bad. Right.
Exactly.
That's all you really need to know.
Yeah.
My folks are watching it, and they're not asking any questions. They're
No.
Not, who's that? Why are they doing this? Who are they talking about? There's none of that. They're just saying, oh yeah, they're trying to find this Grand Admiral. It's like, I'm guessing that's bad. They don't want that to happen. Like, okay, got you.
Yes, Grand Admiral Thrawn, one of the best Star Wars villains. I'm very much looking forward to seeing his live-action debut.
Yeah. Actually, so far my favourite part's been a character whose name I don't know, but he's one of the baddies who looks like he's like in full-on armour because he just looks like a Dark Souls boss.
Oh yeah, well I can't. There's been a lot of speculation on who that might be, but he's
Like
played.
the armour's like, oh cool, like that. I can almost see the health bar underneath.
He's played by or voiced by Sam Witwer, who, if you don't know who that is, he voiced
idea.
Darth Maul in the animated shows, and he also voiced Darth Maul in Solo. Obviously, it's not Darth Maul, because Darth Maul's dead. Spoiler alert for if he's dead.
No.
So it's not Darth Maul, but I don't know why he's playing him. So I'm interested to see what's gonna go on with that character. But
Tell you what I found interesting reading the cast list. I've seen Grand Admiral Thrawn. He's played by, well, he's going to be played by Lars Mikkelsen, the brother of Mads Mikkelsen, who's the like part of the Rebel Alliance who put the weakness in the Death Star. So it's like, hang on, they got two brothers in real life. One of them's Sith and one of them's not.
well, on that note of that, and one of the other characters who appeared in episode 1, both Lars and I can't remember the actor's name, but he's the governor of Lafol. Those two actors both voiced those two characters in Rebels. So they both voiced them in Rebels, and they're playing the live action versions of those characters in Ahsoka, which is quite cool.
Yeah, yeah, it's pretty neat. There's a lot of people that say like, "Oh, who should we get to play like the live action?" It's like, let's just get the voice actors to do it. It's really them.
Yeah.
So just put some CGI, a bit of makeup on them, practical effects, really. And yeah,
I do find Ahsoka is a little stiff at times in the show. I don't know if you feel like that.
We mean the actor or the...
Yeah, I think her as a character is a bit stiff. She's the most expressive character, or how she is. Because if I think of like how Ahsoka is in Clone Wars or Rebels, she's much more expressive, especially in Clone Wars. Well, she's quite young in Clone Wars. But now, even in Mandalorian and now in her own show, she's not the most charismatic character. Although from the past, she is a very charismatic character, but it's not really showcased that much so far in the show.
That's the case of them getting older, because generally speaking, the older Jedis are more stoic as they go.
True. It's you have
part of their training.
Like the Ray Stevenson's, rest in peace. Obviously he's playing one of the villains. He's very stoic despite being a Sith.
Yeah, I'm not sure what's going on with his character, but it looks like he's going along with like the evil plot, but it doesn't look like all that happy about it.
Wow, I don't know. See what happens. So you have David Tennant is the robot Harang.
Yeah, we knew it was like him doing the voice, but when we were first watching it, like the first episode, it was like, is that David Tennant? It didn't quite sound like him, but as time went on, it's like, yeah, it's quite clearly him. But the first, like, I don't know, 10 minutes or so, I was like, is that David Tennant or is that someone else? Generally couldn't tell from the start.
He also voiced that same character in Clone Wars.
Oh, wow.
What a winky dink.
Yeah. So there's already three actors who are reprising their characters, same characters from Clone Wars and Rebels.
I think the biggest controversy about this so far is the fact that I suppose minor spoilers, but at the end of the first episode, one of the characters gets stabbed
Oh yes.
with a lightsaber, and everyone's like, "Oh, she's fine." Like the next episode, she's fine, like bit of surgery done, and then I've seen like memes of just like. It's like you know that guy like disappointed with like his arms on his hips, like that
Yeah.
meme, but with, like Obi-Wan's face on top of it.
Yep, literally. I didn't even think about that when I watched it, and then after I was like, "Oh yeah, that's a good point."
Yeah.
But the thing is, when that happened, when said character got stabbed, I was like, "What? They've killed off the character already? What?" And then it was like, "Oh no, they're fine."
It would have been a ballsy move if they went with it, because obviously I don't know the series, so but it would have got you invested slightly. It's like, oh, it's a new character that we're going to get to go. Oh, never mind.
Am I just going to Game
I
of
wonder where they're
Thrones?
going to go now. That's going to piss us off.
I'm excited to see where it goes because I really like Rebels. I think Rebels is a great 4-season show with a really good arc and a good story.
Can I ask one question, because it's been bugging me?
Yeah.
I imagine everyone out there is shouting either yes or no to this. You know, on the mural where it's got all of them, and then
Yeah.
they've got like their teacher.
Yeah.
It's like the purple dude. That's the same character from Fallen Order, right?
No,
Is
that
is not
guy.
the same one?
No. That guy, Zeb. He actually appears in The Mandalorian season 3.
Ah,
I can't remember which episode, but it's with the X-wing fighter. While they're in the bar, he appears for a cameo.
must be a blinker you miss it then, because I can't recall it at all.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Because when I watched Mando season 3 the first time, I was like, "Oh, I don't know this character." But when I rewatched it, I was like, I know this character."
Yeah,
So-
'cause I'd seen an article saying, there's like a Easter eggs for like Fallen Order in it, and I was keeping my eyes peeled, but I thought that was it.
I don't know. It's no. I don't know. I don't know anything about any Fallen Order Easter egg.
It might just be like clickbait articles. I didn't read it because obviously I didn't want to ruin the show for myself.
I've not. There might be. I literally don't know.
Never
But
mind.
it's not Zeb. Zeb. I think he's the same race as the
Yeah, I got to say it's the same,
as
right?
Cal's
Okay.
master, who's voiced. Yeah, but it's not Zeb. Zeb's not a Jedi.
Fair enough. Oh, I know.
Yeah, there you go.
I don't have to watch Rebels. Then.
Well, I think you should because Rebels is great, but that's up to you.
If I get more time in my hands, I can watch more than one episode of something a week.
No, so far Ahsoka's good, but still needs time to cook. And episode 3 was too short. I blinked and it was done, and I was like,
They've been doing the same in Marvel, isn't they? Like the first episode is like an hour and a quarter, and then they sort of like go 45 minutes, 30 minutes, 25 minutes.
Yeah. I saw a joke where it's gonna like the finale's gonna be minus 1 minute.
Yeah. I thought that was like, there's a couple of series. It's like, it's the grand finale. It's like, this is going to be a kick-ass, massive, like 3-hour Helm's Deep battle scene. It's like, it's 15 minutes. It's like, you what?
Always good to have new Star Wars, and so I'm enjoying it.
You guys have been watching other new stuff, haven't you?
Well, it's only me. Out of my the 3 TV shows I watched, this is my final one, which is what I think is the best of the 3 I watched. I watched The Bear. Now,
Dun-dun.
have either of you heard of The Bear?
Yeah, I've heard
Only
of
what
that.
you said on my stream the other day.
Yeah. So The Bear is about a chef who was working in New York, and after his brother dies, he flies back to Chicago and runs his brother's restaurant or sandwich shop. That's the premise. It's basically him working with those in the sandwich shop, and initially they're all strangers, and slowly they become more like family. And it's got some great laughs. It's a comedy drama. It's got some fun laughs, a lot of swearing, some really good drama, and I'll be honest, just story-wise, it's just got some great character moments from beginning to end in both seasons. As I mentioned to you on your stream, like the tone and the way it's shot and the way the characters are written, the thing it reminds me most of is Better Call Saul and Breaking Bad. A bit more Better Call Saul because it's not as it's not about someone dying. Although there is a bit of that with like the aftermath of the main character's brother. But this is just, even if you don't really find it that funny, this just has some impeccable drama, and there's the amount of like monologues and things that characters say that just hit you on so many levels is incredible. This has a lot of deep writing, and then it will just have these wild characters that are just like, these are people that are real, but also could be real, but also just so strange in so many different ways. But it show's incredible. While I was watching Ahsoka, I was enjoying Ahsoka, but I wanted to watch the bear more because the bear was better. Not that Ahsoka's bad, but I knew that the bear was better than Ahsoka. And that was just the first 2 episodes of Ahsoka. I was like, yeah, the bear is just incredible. They're only about half an hour episodes, so I absolutely rinsed it. And yeah, the soundtrack for this show is incredible. There's the amount of songs that I've just been like, right, I need to add that to my Spotify and listen to it, because it's just so good. Like, there's a band called, was it a band or a guy? I'm not sure. Sufjan Stevens, and one of their songs came on. And I was like, I've been listening to him for a while now, but I don't know this song. And then I listened to the song that was on the bear, and I was just like, okay, I can understand why this song was used. Like, the soundtrack, the way it's all shot, the sets, the actors, it's great. It's just really, really fucking good. Everything about it. Yeah, my only gripe is I want season 3. If they're going to do a season 3. Yeah. The season 2 does have... season 1 is all about half an hour episodes. Season 2 does have a few longer episodes. There's an hour episode that has a incredible all-star cast. And that episode definitely feels very Breaking Bad, Better Call Saul. No, this show's good. It definitely makes you want to have some food. So I recommend having some food with you while you're watching it, because you will get hungry.
Seems to make you want to go cook, yeah?
Yeah.
Seems to be like the running theme song, is just got to leave stuff cooking.
Well, it definitely makes me know that I never want to work in a kitchen. Definitely.
I've seen enough kitchen nightmares to know that.
Oh yeah, that is literally in this show. The amount of times
I've been a kitchen manager for so many years that I don't want to work in a kitchen.
Yeah,
Chef
you said
real thing. Chef Mike, the microwave.
Yeah. The amount of swearing of just being like, the amount of times they're just like, oh, this, like, where's the fucking meat or whatever, or beef, and it is great. The main cast, the only person I recognised was, I don't know his name, but he was in Andor for a couple episodes in the first half of Andor. He was the only actor I recognised out of the main cast. Season 2, the guests they get on, you will recognise them. There's a lot of they're that well known that you'll recognise them. But yeah, this show's good. I know it might just sound a bit boring that it's just a guy running a sandwich shop, but it's really good. There's a lot of moments and a lot of dialogue that will make you laugh and will hit your heartstring, and I think it's worth watching. I give it like a 9 out of 10. Like, it's incredible. It's easily best TV show I've watched this year by a mile.
Wow.
Yeah. Ding. I don't know what else to say.
I don't know. I think I've reached a point where I'm borderline heat stroke.
Drink water, Brandon. Drink water, Brandon. Don't die. Don't die.
I literally finished off my vanilla milkshake, which I've been drinking to keep me going throughout this episode.
That's good. At least, I don't know. I don't think we've got to that point where water boils when it gets on your body just yet. Or have we? I don't know.
Be for yourself, mate.
Well,
I can't quite crack an egg on the pavement and cook it.
Well, it's dangerous if it's... I can't remember what it... They spoke about it on fucking Trash Taste, and my workmate was talking about it as well. I can't remember what it's actually called. Is it not water displacement? I don't know. I can't remember. But it's where it's like it won't cool you down, and it's like dangerous to be out in the sun because you essentially are... But you're physically burning, not... You're overheating and burning. It's like really dangerous. I know I'm just saying this on our video game podcast. Yeah, don't...
Yeah, stay hydrated.
Yeah.
That's all I can get from that. Stay hydrated, don't overheat. I was saying that at work, I've got a brand new machine installed at work, and the AC in the room at the time wasn't on, and the room is it's sun facing first thing in the morning. So back when it was about we were sort of creeping into like 18-19 territory. So bear in mind, so that's 18-19, so that's a comfortable temperature to be at. The room was 28 because of the heat the machines was generating. So I was on annual leave last week and the AC was still not turned on. So if outside temperature was 25, that internal temperature must be pushing 30s. I'm just like, that's freaking horrendous for this time of year. Absolutely horrendous.
Well, sadly, it's going to get warmer because
we've got it for another week before it starts to cool down. I'm just like, oh my god. On the bright side, we'll have something interesting to talk about next episode, though, won't we?
Yes, we will. Yeah.
Eyes of P.
Yeah.
Eyes of P. Yeah.
And Starfield.
Yeah. I'm definitely going to play Lies of P. Really looking forward to it.
I know what Brando was talking about, but yes.
Oh yeah, that too.
Yeah. We'll be going on a little trip.
We're going on a trip in our favourite rocket ship, EMR train lines. No. Not really.
I suppose we just brought up Lies of P. If anyone's wondering how me and Brandon are getting on with Wolong, I uninstalled Wolong to make room for Starfield on my hard drive. So that's how much I like that game.
And I asked Chris a question: is it still on Game Pass?
I think so.
I don't know what it is about the game that I'm not clicking with it like I did for Neo and stuff. I don't know.
Yeah, it just didn't do it for me. I don't know. I don't know what it is. The difficulty was weird and skewed. I don't know. I just didn't really get into the combat side of it. So I'm struggling to remember how the combat even works.
It's rhythm game-ish.
Yeah. It never fully properly explained how it meant to work. Yeah, some of it felt a bit like how I felt with Sekiro. Like when I was fighting things, like when I beat something, it felt more like luck than actual strategy.
I Guardian 8 for the first time and just unga bunga it.
Yeah, actually, I'd say Guardian 8 was the best fight in that game. Actually, it was like more straightforward, isn't it? Yeah, best fight. 2 phases, both good. And he throws poo at you, so they're all best ones.
Sorry. Okay. What was it? Life of P or what was it?
Lies of
P.
What is that game?
Pinocchio Bloodborne.
It's an open world game, but that sort of aesthetic that Bloodborne has.
Yeah.
Think of that, but retelling of the story of Pinocchio.
Yeah. If you literally look at an image of it and squint your eyes, it's just like Bloodborne.
Okay, cool. Sometimes it's good to know what it is that you're going to play. That's all.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to it.
Cool.
Yeah, we were saying like Game Pass has paid for itself this month. Sea of Stars, Starfield, and Lies of P. It's like, well, I ain't spending any money this week. Brilliant. Got plenty to play.
And then there's me who's just bought a gig ticket and then bought some D&D dice, and then who knows what I'm going to spend this weekend. It's all good fun. I'm not complaining. I'm like, I wanted new D&D dice. That was my reward for 3 peaks. It's dragon scale dice. It's cool.
I didn't know what to spend on my paycheck this week, so I went and bought my niece's birthday present. I bought some pair of pants. Pants have gone up in price.
Of course.
Ridiculous how much I want for the pants. I know, graceful. £9. I thought I paid £5 for them last time. £9 now for a pair of pants.
Mm-hmm.
That's a rip-off.
I know. They should have informed me. They should have given me their brief.
Well,
but they should have given you a brief on the briefs.
Before we divulge into more domestic problems, I think
domestic problems. help! Myself, my pants are
Well, I think we'll close on out our little podcast. Thank you all for listening. As you know where to find us on social media, our Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. These two are both on Twitch, Sibaka and Spanky Rambles.
In fact, as this episode goes out on the 18th, I'm currently on a break, but I will be back the day this episode comes out. And if you're quick at 8 o'clock, I will be doing a gift card giveaway in my stream because it's my 3-year Twitch affiliate anniversary.
Woo! Yeah, well done. Well, congratulations, Chris, for 2 weeks today. Or if you're listening to it on the day, today.
All right, all I have to do is physically exist.
And I'm glad you exist.
Existence fine. I wish there was a bit more to it. Some days you just feel like you're just existing, don't you?
Yeah. Check out Retro Smashed. They're great. yeah, don't think I've got anything else to say. Have I said it
Yeah,
all?
nice, short, brief. It'd be really, but do make sure to check in next week because there's going to be a hell of a lot of exciting things to talk about next week.
Yeah, well, in fact, 2 weeks. You can check in next week if you want. But,
Yeah, that's what I mean.
won't be
Next
here.
week. Next week.
Next week. Check out next week. Listen to all of our other episodes in
Yeah,
anticipation.
catch up with your eyes so you know what we're talking about.
Yeah.
Indeed. I'm done. You've been listening to Brandon and Chris as well. With Victory Achieved.
It's true, he has.
I don't know what else to say.
I've only been listening to Chris. I've tried listening to Dan. Nah, I can hear Dan all the time. I can't hear myself. I think the heat's actually gotten to me. I'm talking shit. I've just had a sweat drop fall off my nose and land on my boxers. I feel gross.
I think with that,
Careful,
we're done.
Careful, they cost at least £9.
I bet this is the problem. At the end of the podcast, we just go all fucking Louis.
We don't know how to end episodes. It's been so many episodes in, and we still don't know what to end. We just keep going until we just sort of naturally stop. Anyway, end transmission.
Yeah, thank you for listening to Victory Chief Podcast. We'll see you in 2 weeks' time. Thank you for listening.